chewing popcorn. I'll probably spit some out, but don't say nothing.
Gotcha.
Nobody will see it. I'm just kidding.
Nobody.
Yeah, we were live, of course. Okay, so here we are. We're going to show up every week at 9 p.m. on Thursdays. And you know what? You guys just need to follow along. Okay. Let's go to Facebook and share this baby. You know what, Angie? What were you thinking about? Here we go. And there we are. Oopsies. First have to be here. Hold on. First, I got to find it. There we are. Oopsies. First have to. Hold on. You're going to be like, what? What? She put my name on that stuff? Yes. Okay. Here we are. Now we're here. Oh, yay. Hi, Jody. Hi, Jody. Okay. There's a comment. So I'm just going to show you the comment. I love your laugh. Yes, I'm very happy. Okay. So what we're doing today, this my partner in crime today. This is Miss Angelica. All right. You can address us as goddess. No. All right. So let's kind of tune into the energy, like when I say tune into the energy, it's really like checking in to see like how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And that's basically what that is. So let's kind of check in to see where we're at. And then maybe like relax a little bit, like just start relaxing your body. Mm-hmm. Right. And if you don't know what that means, you create an understanding and then you bring it into the body and mean it, feel it. Okay. So you just keep telling your body to relax, relax, relax. There you go. Okay, great. So how about that day?
Right.
Okay. Let's see now. Now I'm going to go over to the groups and I'm going to see if we're live in that. I put us into the creative sanctuary.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are live. I think that's where I heard you.
Yay. Oh, so you can monitor comments in there for us then?
Maybe. Let me double check.
Yay. Okay, cool. Then if you could do that, then I could do the rest. Which is nothing. No. Okay, Miss Angie, here we are. Here's how this one's going to work, because we're going to change the words, and I'm not actually talking to Miss Angie. She already knows. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull cards for you. We want to shift the energy that you're asking about, because the reason that you're asking is because there's unsurety. If there's unsurety, we want to clear the pathway that feels the least resistant and align you to that pathway. So if there is a comment or place your comments and we will help you. That's nice. Okay. All right. So place your comments and we will help you. You can also say, ask your questions. That's good though. I like that. I have never put it that way. And I love that.
Well, sometimes it's just, they might just need like a little, it might not be a question. It might not be, it's just something where I'm in a funk and what do I shift it, fix it, do something. Some people might have.
A lot of us are feeling that nowadays, right?
Yeah.
We all think that there's like a better, bigger, other thing that's going to like make everything all better. So we're still in that savior syndrome. right? That Captain Savaho. Captain Savaho is really fucking late today, man. So
taking it sweet time.
So who can we rely on? We can rely on ourselves, but we have to know that we can do that. So we have to create a story that tells us that this is what we're able to do. If we're separating ourselves using our story, saying that we're not complete, we're not enough, we can't do this, we can't do that, even if we're external and saying it's all because of that, right? We're still saying it to ourselves. And the can't part is really, really rubbing us a lot. Right now, everybody feels like they're in ease. Have you noticed that for the last like 2 days? Kind of a little bit of ease. And then in the ephemeris, in my magic book of woo, in my magic book of woo, my Bible. No. This is what it looks like. So in case you can read backwards.
It's actually,
I know I mirror my thing. That's why I laugh. Okay. I mirror my camera. So that way when I read a card and I hold the card up, they can see the card. And then that way it's not backwards. And then if I'm pointing in a certain direction because maybe it's a night and he's like running away or running toward. So that's why. So today is Thursday, October 30th. The moon's in Aquarius, so we are all feeling very deeply because Jupiter is with Cancer and the moon is Cancer's planet. Okay, yes, I'm feeling all of that right now. And Mercury just went in 0 degrees Sag, moved out of Scorpio. Oh my goodness. Yes. 0 degrees Sag. And let's see who else is in that 0 degree list so that we know who's playing in the same sandbox, right? We have Uranus. That's just wonderful. Uranus is and Mercury, and Uranus is retrograde and retrograde Gemini. A lot of air energy, fire and air. That's the yang. That's the yang of the circle. So that means that's going to be the doing energy, the physical energy. That's what we're really working with right now. And those two, one is retarded, so moving in a backward direction or an away from direction. And then the other one has just gone direct and straight into a different house placement. So it's just starting to transition across the sky for us to look at. Who else is talking to each other over here? Pluto. Oh yeah, of course. Pluto's going to stay at 1 degree for a long time, but Pluto's direct. So I would say that Mercury and Pluto are probably having some really good conversations right now. And the moon is in there right now. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're having a lot of spiritual conversations in our head. Our beliefs are developed by what we observe, right? So if I used to be really more anal than I am right now, I'll say it that way. Okay. These are things that I heal through. I'm good. I can say it out loud. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get interrupted. Hold on. Hi, babe. I'm online right now. Okay. Okay. I love you.
What time is it?
9:15.
9?
9:15. Yep.
What about the van?
Okay.
You get to the park.
Okay.
They don't give me for weather.
Oh, okay. Now you guys all know my personal shit. Isn't that great? It doesn't matter. That's my babe, man. That's like I guess I could say like that's my man, but that's not my man. I don't own anybody. So that's my sweetheart. That's what I call him. We won't discuss it any further because when I start thinking about him, I get all weird. So we're not talking about that shit anymore. Nobody is allowed to have that much sway in my fucking life. I'll tell you all about that shit. Get straight now. It's going to start anyway. God damn it. I can't be quiet enough because my head won't shut the fuck up. Okay, here we go. All right. Nobody has placed any questions yet. If you have a question, we are more than willing to read for you. A lot of grown-up energy right now. There's such diversion right now. Such. So a lot of the outer planets are in their heavier struts, basically, and so they're in their open, older eras, their villain eras. And then you have Pluto, who is in not a villain era, but is bringing the truth. Whatever the truth is, Pluto is all about that, because we're transitioning from misinformation into openness, open communication. So we'll start noticing things like you'll know somebody else's thoughts, or like, and it's very easy. It's like you're reading the energy. And so somebody's coming toward you, and you'll either be like, you'll retrieve whatever it is, or you'll bring it forward, but it's going to be there, and it'll feel very telepathic. Life is going to feel very telepathic. And it isn't because we don't want to talk to each other anymore. It's because we want to be mindful of how we think of one another. Ooh. Oh, okay. We're going to give you real answers. Thanks for being brave. We're going to give you real answers. Okay. All right. So here's what we'll do. Okay, Angie? Will 2026 be fruitful? Well, we are in a strange place. We're in a different place. And because we're in a different place, you're in comparative energy. All right. And your comparative energy is a desire to do things the way they've always been done. And because you have a desire to do things the way that they've always been done, because you've built something and this is how it's worked, that is not crumbling to the ground. Yet you are having to navigate how to do things differently in order to be the kind of successful that you're looking at. You're not sure exactly what that looks like. If it looks like more work, more effort, more, because you're not down to do that. You're looking for more efficiency, you do that. You're looking for greater reach with less, like more with less, because you have done a lot. And I would also say, I keep feeling into your sister, and I'm thinking, no, not yet. I don't think so. Not yet. I don't think holiday time is going to be a good time ever. All right. I don't think a New Year's resolution is going to satisfy that either. Okay. There is always going to be a longing. There's always going to be a longing, because when you separate from somebody that you love and care about, and it is due to behavior that's unacceptable between the two of you, right? It's difficult to navigate back into a relationship, because this is like the last frontier. So the last frontier is usually family. And when you go into and I call it that because that's the last place that we were able to go in and start to heal. Okay. And a lot of times it's because we have difference of not only opinion and perception, but of belief systems, to where we live and die by whatever our beliefs are. And it doesn't mean that we're wrong or inconsistent or bad people. It means that we're just different. And that's really what it is. So I can see that there is, or I can sense, I'll say that, I can sense that there is a resistance on your sister's part to move forward. All right. And I would also say that she has a feeling of powerlessness that she isn't translating to powerlessness. She's translating it into, it's a fear base. You would feel it. Okay. And for you, what you're feeling right now, possibly in your body, is like maybe in your solar plexus area, maybe tightness, right? And as we check into like her energy, this is what she's experiencing. How she may translate what I just translated is, well, very stubborn. It could be very stubborn. It could be very, well, I'm right. And unless she admits it, I'm not moving. And it does feel like not budge, not move, not anything. That's why I don't think now is the time for reconnection. So you'll have a longing, and longing is actually you going into acceptance of who you are and being okay with who you are, even though she's not giving you the validation of sisterhood from a blood relative or from a family member, because that's how we're raised. We're raised with that conditioned language. And the idea is to give her freedom because you too want yours. And you do that through acceptance. You can accept the situation as it is, and you don't have to invent anything about it. You don't have to talk to yourself about like what caused it. You could just say, my sister and I are estranged. And that's the situation. Then you can check in with your body, because like right now you're still in the experience of it. And so while you're still thinking about it, you're still in the energy of whatever transpired, and you have a lifetime together. So since you have a lifetime together, you're pulling up all the bits and pieces that have not been resolved internally. And we always have a desire. Misery loves company, right? So we always have a desire to hash it out, or to talk about it, or to let's get through this. And that is not necessary. It's necessary for you to accept it. It's necessary. And to accept like where you're at if you want change. So if you accept that you're estranged from your sister, I know you felt that. And so right now what I'm doing is I'm balancing your energy. Okay. All right. So you accept it. You accept it just as a fact. It doesn't have to be truth, a lie. It doesn't have to have a determination. This is just what you're noticing in the moment. Your recognized fact. And you're estranged. Okay, great. Now you can check into your body, and you can find out whether or not you have a compelling meaning to talk to her, right? And I really do feel that there's like some benchmarks that maybe you have experienced together, like mom and dad, and there is a possible passing. I don't know if it's parental or if it's ground parent sort of energy, but it's very close. There was a closeness in the family to that. And I think that energy is what is challenging to navigate, because there's so much love in that, and wanting to go back into that love, reconnecting in the way that you used to, makes it a little bit difficult because it isn't the same. If you were to start to you could feel me gingerly looking at the path, right? So if you were to script, I think scripting would be really good for you. Today I saw my sister and we went and had lunch and we did blah, 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 blah. And it was so nice, and really get into the emotion feeling of it. And then at the end of that exercise, you can say, this is my wish, and you could burn it. And then that way you're kind of releasing it to the powers that be, basically. You're saying, well, if it comes through, it comes through. Now you've done your energetic part. You've released what's on your heart. You're able to feel heard because you're the one who's talking to you, okay? That gives you a sense of understanding. That understanding you'll bring into a feeling or a frequency or a meaning. And that's how you get full body understanding, okay? I really do see that. Good. That's like really good. Okay. I was going to say she's like a chiropractor. She is a chiropractor. I want to let you know that, okay?
Okay.
What I saw and Angie saw, what we saw when we were looking at the energy, is we literally saw the energy line up like a beautiful spine. And it just started going like this.
Mhm.
That's great. Okay. Okay, Miss Angie, you want to pull a card? Pull cards, and tell her how beautiful her path can be. And this is for Jody.
Yeah, well, I had pulled when I had pulled, I got the High Priestess, which tells me that she feels like she's ready. And
Mhm.
she has something she wants to, and she has the Star, which is a lot of hope
Oh yeah.
and wanting. But it's the
Yeah.
Eight of Swords, so there's still something that's like there that,
Mhm.
like you said, there's a reason that they're strange. So there's a reason. So it's something where it can cause conflict if it happens now. But the
Mhm.
Magician, she does have all the tools. It's just I do feel like it's also not right now. Like the holidays would not. Maybe wait
I
till
don't
after
think
the
I
holidays.
don't think that it would be conducive to what you're trying to accomplish. I
Mm-mm.
think there's too much result orientation in a right now situation, and you don't need that in order to have love. And I think that's really what you're looking for is love and acceptance. And you have to find it in yourself and practice it with you so you can recognize it when it shows up in others. Now, when you pulled the priestess and you pulled the star card, what I received is that her intuition is opening. And and I saw her intuition opening. And I think that the Eight of Swords is that. So Jody said on point. Okay. So I think that the Eight of Swords is the story that you're telling yourself to hold you back from the understanding that you're gaining. And I think that trusting your intuition, you can call your intuition whatever. Our cousin tried to connect us, but it didn't work. Right. Because
It's
it's just not time. And it's other people's discomfort. And they're the ones that need to do the connecting. Okay. That's what they want. They just don't know how to. And whatever somebody else's outcome is that they're looking for, that's on them. That's what they get to try. That's what they get to try. And if you're open and you're like, I could go to the beach today. Okay, fine. I just don't feel like you have to be super in charge of that. As for 2026, like I've been kind of opening it a little bit. And we had talked briefly about how the way that we're doing business currently is going to change. It's not going to change overnight, though. And so the way that you're doing business is perfectly okay. The crowd that you are servicing has changed. That's what's changed. Okay. And it's because we have done a lot of healing. And the first people that we start with, I would say that most of our businesses that are built like right now have been built from friendships. And those friendships started with friends and people and our loved ones and all of our nucleus group. And they're kind of falling away because they're already healed. They're already in their process, and they don't necessarily need that guidance. They don't necessarily need that that handiwork. They don't necessarily need it. And now we're seeing that we have saturated ourselves in that little area. So what I'm like, I'm feeling Ashley so much right now. What I'm seeing is that there is an opportunity for you to be able to look at your target market and redirect. There's an opportunity for that. And knowing who it is that you're looking for is going to be key, but you have to know who you are in the service orientation that you're delivering. What is it that you're providing that no other chiropractor can do? I already know it's energy. I can see its alignment. I can also see that it's safety. There's a lot of safety in how you do things. So when you know what it is that you can provide, you can really dial it in, and then you can move it into the direction that you would like. Because like you're noticing like where you've been, and you caught a glimpse over here of what you know is possible. And slowly but surely, every time you turn, it's not as far back, and you are in that evolution. I want to pull a card. I want to pull a card because I got some deep information. I want to make sure that I'm not going to. I'm not going to mess up. You want to hear? Look at this.
High Priestess.
The High Priestess again. Okay. So here, we're just going to pull a card. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, so it's a Seven of Swords. And the Seven of Swords, when the Seven of Swords, when the Seven of Swords comes in, okay? The Seven of Swords is about removing conflict and creating decisive action. That's what it's about. Sevens are about don't give up. That's what sevens are about. Yet the picture in this particular card, you could see how the individual is taking away five. Five is the number of conflict and faith. And so you're in that rock and a hard space place right now. And there is decision time, but it isn't forced decision and it is not physical decision. It's mental decision. Okay. And the mental decision is changing the story. How are you talking to yourself about your business? Quite possibly, if you spent any time online, you've picked up some of the other vibrations. So take some time and clear yourself before you come to the table and say what it is that you want. Do that. That'll really help. The next thing is I would really script what I would like to have for a beautiful day several times. I wouldn't just do it the one time. I would do it several times until I felt like my vibration was moving into that alignment. That alignment, when you're asking for something and you keep doing like that, you could call it a ritual, you could call it a ceremony, you could call it an action, a task. When you do that, you're creating the first tactile, tangible, physical representation of what you're asking for. That's why it's so important to write it down with pencil and paper or pen and paper. People like to do a lot of digital stuff, but the digital stuff is never yours. It doesn't belong to you. That's what we all know. We all know the digital world does not belong to us. So the idea, okay, is to create a script that is like, start with like a pleasant day. All right. A pleasant day that you have right now. And then that way it's ground into the clients that you already know and love and have there. That puts you at your level of comfort. And then set how your body wants to feel. Like, am I happy? Am I sad? Am I joyous? Whatever that vibe is that you want repeating. Okay. And you keep, yes. That's right. Paper makes it real. That's right. It absolutely does. Absolutely. And as long as you understand that and you are coming into your intuition, I am on point. Yeah. Okay. I second guess myself still. That's so silly, but I do. All right. So I would script and I would do it like maybe I would do it at the beginning of the day before I left and read it to myself. And I would say, yeah, that feels right. And then I would maybe put it out in the sun or put it on my pillow, but I would discard it before I went to sleep. And then I would sleep free. And then maybe in the morning, do another one. I would see like how I was feeling, what dreams awakened when I came back, right? And I would start to create that vibration. Now, a created vibration is that magnet for attraction. All right. And being intentional is something that helps all of us. Being intentional is necessary for everything that you ask for. You have a certain reason that you're asking for it. That's your intention. And if you're asking for it just to be frivolous, that's your intention. So you're building it with frivolous energy, whimsical stuff that doesn't really mean anything to you. So you have no feeling. So it's all outside, external energy. And so you haven't combined it and made it stronger. You haven't given it a meaning. So how I like to define this part to really dial it in is that our thoughts create understanding and our hearts create meaning, feeling. Okay. And there are two brains, actual brains inside of our body that both receive energetic signals, electrical currents, and do processing. And they have all the little facility, they have everything that's very similar, and they process that way. This one processes what we call intuition. This one processes what we call perception. You felt me go through all the words, but now you understand. So perception, pretty good, huh? Okay, so perception is when you sense or get the impression of an energetic signal, okay? And that energetic signal is like a little sound bite or a wave bite or a light bite. It's very small, and you're curious. Now it's hit you in some way. You're like, what was that? And then you're going to create an understanding. Oh, it was a fly. Oh, it was that blanket from when I was 3 years old and I used to do. You're going to create it. That's what you're going to do. Now, when you create it, you're going to give it meaning. That means you're going to develop a feeling. So you're also creating a feeling. That feeling, too, is a frequency. The thought is a frequency, and the feeling is a frequency. If you can match both of them, you're good for 2 out of 3. If you can match all 3 of them, all 3, body, mind, spirit. So body is air. That's physical sense of you. I feel like I'm 80 years old. Maybe not. Okay, so and then metal is going to be the mental aspect or the cognitive aspect of your experience, your perception. And then spirit is going to be like how you feel, the energy of your soul, the choices that you make from within, from your heart, how you connect to others. All right. And that's the difference in the processing. Now, how, you ask, great question. How do you bring yourself all online at once? Well, think of a word, any word, any word. How do you feel about that word? Think that word, feel that word, think, feel, think, feel, think, feel. Now you are that vibration. That's how you do it. And what happens is that 30 plus trillion cells all pop online right at that moment. And now you are in your, I saw it, it's pink. So now you're just waiting. Now you're just waiting because you're all online. You're ready to go. And that's where you want to write that script from. You want to think of something. So I prefer words like words I understand. Then I don't have to reach and like, oh my God, what do I think about that? Not like that. That's like tedious. And I like shortcuts. So my shortcuts are like happy, 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 happy. No, that's too far out there for me right now because that's a choice. And I like happy, but right now I'm more determined. So because I'm more determined, happy, I'm not going to let happy. I'm not going to let it be happy. I'm determined. So I have to recognize that I'm determined. So since I'm determined, what goes with determination? Ease. Ease goes with determination. Isn't that wild? So ease goes with determination because I'm going to slow the vibe down. So ease is going to be my word. And then I'm going to imagine or pretend what ease feels like in my body. Is ease something that makes me feel expansive? Do I feel connected? Do I feel like I'm fully in my body? Am I letting go of anything that's like trying to hold me away? Yeah, that's what ease feels like. It feels like I'm very grounded. It feels like I'm supported. I'm safe. I'm enough. And I'm just going to keep coming into those frequencies that will create the vibration that I'm choosing. All right. So ease is a word I like to use. Another word I like to use is gratitude. Another word is beauty. And all of those are easy for me. So choose your word, select your vibration, and then pen your script. All right. Then pen it, and you will have a magnificent day. You will absolutely have a magnificent day. What ends up happening is that you start to walk into, that's right, it does. Ease always makes the energy flow. That's like, see, because I'm watching your work while I'm talking to you. So as I'm watching your work, I'm seeing what you provide. This connects to the language of your understanding. That allows you to create the meaning. That is an entrainment. That's what we're creating. You're aware of all these words. That's what's great. Okay. All right. So when you choose what word you want to use, and then you create the understanding and the meaning from it, you put it together, and then you're all online. So here I am. Okay. They're like, that's enough. You can let go now. I said, all right. Okay. Thank you, Miss Jody. We have another person. Are you ready? Oh, okay. So we have, hey, okay. This is Sean G. Okay. And here's her question, or his question. I'm not sure. Maybe she, I'm not sure. Very, very, very cool. I don't know if I finished. I'm thinking, I don't know if I know they're finishing it right now. I can feel it. Mm-hmm. What happens when you start to change your vibration, more opportunities that are not necessarily in the focus of where things aren't show up. So you're focused in a place where the opportunities that were there have already been used. So you've asked for other opportunities and they're around you, but you're still focused in this side. So once you start to move, like we talked about earlier, it'll happen. It's just there already. Okay, here we are. How will 2926 be for my business? I don't know if you're going to be in business. I think you mean 2026. I think that's what you mean, miss. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a typo.
Yeah. So if you're still here, Sean, go ahead and tell us you're here. We'll go ahead and we'll read for you. Yes, and in our hearts it has meaning. Yes, that's right. Thank you, Vera. Veronica. Oh, they tell me. I don't sense her. Let's pull cards and then we'll leave it. So that way if she does come back, okay? All right. They said 2 for me. I have my 2. Transition for sure, and face down, ass up. Things are going to change a lot for you, Sean. Like a lot. Not a small amount. A lot. And I don't know what that means to you, but a lot. Like a shit ton. Like a shit ton, girl. Okay.
But there'll be options.
What's that?
But there'll be options.
Lots of options. Really good options. It's not going to put her under.
Mm-mm.
No, this is
it'll be a drastic change, but it'll be something where it'll be probably
if
options.
She welcomes it. So she might go through processes, right? And so some of the processes, because I got the death card. So the death card holds at least 4 of the processes, right? And like, I don't know what you're talking about. So it might be that one. And then it might be like, please say it isn't so. Please say it isn't so. Please say it isn't so. It might be that one. And it might be like, I'm out. Or it might be like, change, my friend. Yay. And that one might help too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it is a lot of change, and it's grown up change. It's not small change.
Yep.
Yeah, it's grown up change. So the 2 cards that I got for her is Death card and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands was pulled second, so I'm going to allow it to be an energetic rather than an individual. I did get sensing that there was a male energy in the business aspect and that it was being separated. That's what I got. I don't know if she's in partnership with that. It might just be her separating from a very masculine way of doing things. And that might be it.
Okay.
And that's what I got. The transformation, she needs to pay attention to water. Yeah. And so having water in the space, water in flow, water by the door, like a little fountain, that would be really good. If you have a brick and mortar, that would be really good. That would bring in a lot more flow and currency for you. And you really are in alignment for this. Change is going to be total. It's not going to be a little bit. It's not a minimal amount of change. And I think that I'm getting different numbers. I'm going to go ahead and look in my ephemeris real fast. Oh, maybe I'll just do I'll do a transit. Let's see if I do a transit.
I got the Tower and the Knight of Swords. So it's gonna be a big change. It's gonna be a quick change, but it's gonna be something that will be beneficial. She just gotta look out for it. You said
Neptune moved into Pisces.
Both of them. Okay.
Yeah. And the Wheel of Fortune is at the top of the key in Pisces. Okay. Oh. There's a lot of healing that's going to happen for you as well. The healing is going to be something that you didn't really see coming because you really believe that like you've done enough. And part of the healing is getting to believe in yourself, like really believe in yourself. And you are being called forward in a bigger, greater way to be more seen, to be more heard, to be more of service, whatever that is. It feels like you're very entrepreneurial. And since that's the energy that I am sensing, I would say that's probably the way you're headed in 2026. Big change, better efforts, and elevation. Is that what you think, Miss Angie? Does that sum it up?
It's going to be a change that's going to happen. So be ready for it because it's not going to happen.
I think she's already sensing the change, and that's why the question.
Mm-hmm. Vero on Facebook put a question.
I would like some guidance. That one?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I would like some guidance for this transition I am in. Spirit said this was a new beginning year, but I got ill. This month is finally when I have been able to do something related to my goals. I usually understand, can see signs about what's going on, but this time I'm puzzled. I think that you're being slowed down on purpose. I think that's what's happened.
You need to clear yourself. You need to cleanse yourself, honey.
What if hey Vero, if you're open, we can do like an energetic scan, okay, for health. And then we can give you our findings and help you shift the energy. You're at the tail end of whatever it is that you were in, all right? And there's no residual, there's no kickback from it. I don't feel any of that. I also feel like even if it was like cancer or anything like that, right? I still feel like you've already beat it, whatever it is. And that you need to be complicit in that belief. You need to be complicit in that belief because that is what's taking place. Your body is listening to you. Your body is absolutely listening to you and wanting to move in the direction of your choice. So if your choice is, hey, I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise, then your body's going to move in that direction. Yep. We got a yep. Okay. And so I would say that the healing process, it is a matter of moving yourself energetically away from the story. Yes. Yes. Uh-huh. Jody there we are. Jody was a breast cancer survivor, and so here we are with Vero. So I'm thinking this, okay? I'm thinking that, like, I have my deck upside down, but when I put it down, everything is a sign for me. So when I see a sign, oh, there's this, that means this. Oh, there's this. It just brings in more sound bites or little digital bites for me to read, right? So this one is the Seven of Cups. And I think this is like how you've been feeling lately. I really do. I think that you've been feeling like Seven of Cups. Like there's just so many things to do that I have to get to, because this is something that I really need to take place, and I gotta make this happen. And I think that what you're learning is that nothing is going to be made to happen. Nothing is going to be made to happen. Nothing is going to be made to happen. You're going to allow. That's what you're learning. You're going to allow. You're going to allow your ideas to come to fruition. You're going to allow your business to flourish. You're going to allow your body to operate in health, wealth, and love. You're going to allow, and that's what you've been being taught. That's what I see. Okay. And I think that it has been very difficult. It's been difficult it's a very, that energy is also a very known energy right now in many communities, that everybody feels like they've just been waiting and waiting and waiting. And we're learning to slow the energy down so that we can make a difference. And so that's a really big thing. So that's what I'm receiving. And then, oh yeah, see, here we go. And then you're the Magician. So you already have all the tools necessary. We went ahead and we just did a little clearing. So you're probably feeling a little bit better. The clearing is just some energy pattern that people will hold on to because of the story that they've told for such a long time. I've been sick since XYZ, right? And so right now I feel it centered. I feel it centered in my, they're telling me my paunch, but I'm not calling it that, in my sacral. Okay. All right. Anyway, so since it's in my sacral, it's affecting my creation energy, my connection to spirit, and it's going to convolute my ability to connect to my perception, because those are my two connected chakras, my third eye and my sacral. Okay. All right. And that right there will show you why, because third eye is perception and sacral is creation. And they go, when you balance in an energetic practice, you're balancing chakras. If you're using the 7 major governing chakras, how you balance them is the crown to root, the third eye to sacral, the throat to solar plexus, and then the heart. The heart is one. So I was sensing that these two are maybe a little bit out of alignment. And the only alignment is psychic debris. That's it. The disalignment is psychic debris. So if you want to practice with us, this is what you could do. Like, we'll all practice it really fast, so that way you could just have it. All right. So I'm seeing like a lot of butterflies around you right now. And I know butterflies have many meanings. And the meaning that I'm picking up is little white butterflies of unconditional love flying around you right now. And you're being cleared. I didn't have anything to do with that. I promise. Anyway, so they're just swirling around you. And so I don't know what to do about that, but you're being cleared. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And I would say that this is a great beginning. It is a great beginning because you had to learn so much. You had to learn to trust. Trust was a big thing on the board for you. And you're used to making it happen. You're used to being in alignment and say, oh yes, this is the next step. This is the next step. And what you're finding out is that you were in charge.
Yep.
Okay. You're finding out that you were in charge. And what happens is that we might ideate with spirit and say, yes, this would be great. Thank you for that community aspect that you've given me to bring through. Okay. Thank you so much. And then we get a hold of it and we're like, I'm doing it this way. And I feel that separation that you're talking about in that. And what I call them they. That's what I call them, they. And what they've done is that they have sat on you, basically. Sat on you to where like you can't do anything that you used to do the way that you used to do it. And it's been such drastic changes that it almost knocked you off your goal orientation. Mm-hmm. So since it's a life path, it is a life path. You're right. It is a life path, but you have a lot of life in front of you. You don't have to be in a hurry, not in any way, shape, or form, because it is aligned. So because it's aligned, you don't have to go searching for what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? It isn't that. It's who do I be? Who do I be? Who do I be? And that is the question that you keep receiving, and you're learning how to answer it for yourself through acceptance. There it goes. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure on my back.
Yes. Okay, we have one more question. Thank you, Vero. I want to make sure I answered the question. Oh, yeah, we did. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, this is Miss Luci. Let's see. I have a question. I am currently negotiating something very important. How will this negotiation go? So we get to that part of the question and we are already reading you. And because your energy is, I don't know, that's how it's going to go. I don't know. I don't know what I really want in this important negotiation. What do you want? Make that happen. So that's what I want.
It's on that.
Let's go ahead and okay, that's good. That's good. Because now we're in a really good space. Okay. And this is good for everyone that we've talked to or anybody that we would talk to. The idea is to understand that it's because you said so. That's why your life is the way it fucking is. Okay? Because you said so. And you say it often enough, you take action around what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're feeling it, baby.
Yep.
Okay. So let's do it this way. Okay, Lucy, let's do it this way. I know it seems like it's really crazy to just walk off the end of a pier and possibly land in water, but not knowing what you're going to land in, right? Stepping off the precipice into the unknown, right? So why don't you create what you don't know? Why don't you create what you don't know? Wouldn't it be nice for this important negotiation to work out comfortably and in alignment with what you have laid out? See how your body just started flowing toward it? Because that's the story you want to tell that you're afraid to tell. So you tell that story. The resistance that you have is in the wound that might be recent about not being accepted or being moved away from something that was important to you. Now you're coming at the same business aspect and you're unsure because it's there. Okay. So the idea is to register where you're at right now with the negotiation. Where are you at with the negotiation? Because you need a line. You need a line. I've gotten this far. And this is like how I'm feeling about that. I've gotten this far, and this is what I think about that. And then put it into percentage. You're at about 51% right now. And it dips into 49 to 51. Now it's at 75. See? All of a sudden you're like, it is not. Ah, look, see how it works? That's how it works.
You did a good job.
That's how it fucking works. Okay. Get it? That's how it absolutely works. You change your vibration. You change your vibration, and that's what takes place. 100%. Well, I don't know. You're at 83% now, though, because now you're considering. See the difference in the energy? Now you're considering. You're considering that, yeah, it's a possibility. It absolutely could happen. And now it's starting to move into probability. Yeah, this seems like a lock. This is going to be all right. Is there anything else that could be beneficial to all parties that I haven't seen in the future? What could that possibly be? And then start adding that into the future. Keep what you have right now. It's good. It's good. I know it's good. You're not getting any feedback from the other individual yet. Say it's good. Call it good. All right. And then start planning for how it's going to be of benefit. Start planning for how it's going to help a lot of people. All right. And then that way you're in that vibration. That vibration is a huge flow. You have a couple of frequencies that are wrapped up in one negotiation that's very important to you. But you want to be in all the negotiations. You want to be in all the negotiations. You're using terms. Those terms create frequencies.
Right. But to adjust some of the things where not that specific, but make it broader in the sense of
it's contractual to a career. What she said, it's contractual to a career.
Okay.
I can see it.
Because if she gives herself more options.
More options. She's written an offer for herself. So I think that I think it's a solid offer. I think that she's afraid she might have left something out because it feels a little bit like you think you're giving away too much. So if you think you're giving away too much, you're already starting out in a disadvantaged position and you put yourself there. So if you put yourself there because you think that you can't get more, you've already tied your worth to that job without even having it. And now you're going to interpret that back to yourself as, oh, I'm not enough. And that's not going to help you. It's not going to help you set your pattern the way that you would like with the good information. It's going to give you the old kind of information with the same pattern. Maybe you could say things to yourself like, I'm priceless. I'm priceless, and I'm willing to give you this amount of time in exchange for this dollar value. Because tasks are tasks. And as long as they're within the window, they're paying for your expertise and time. They're not paying for you to be there. Well, they might. They're psychologists or anything like that. Okay? So the idea is to really, the specifics of what you ask for are not outside of what you can receive. Yet, if you were to think about how much more you could receive, you can see the limitation that you set. Sometimes when we're reading things, we're reading through a lens that's from a wounded aspect. And we're in that wounded aspect because we haven't resolved where we've been, the situation that we've just left or a situation that's still outstanding, and we haven't offered it solution. When we offer it solution, the solution, yes. So when we offer it solution, exactly, because I still feel that it's not, don't call it deserving or worth. Then you're attaching you to an object and you're worth way more than that. Way more. Okay? What would make you comfortable and for how long? That's what you're doing. What would make you comfortable and for how long? All right? You're in a situation. Treat it like a situation, not a personal endeavor. It's a situation. How much would you like that would make you comfortable and for how long? And that's how you wrap it. That's how you do business with yourself for yourself. Okay? You look at the longevity. I feel like it might take me a few months before I'm willing to get into another piece of work, and I'd like a little buffer so that way I can really choose what it is that I would like to experience. And I'm really good at a lot of things, and I've been off the market as myself for an extended period of time. So how long do I really want? Do I want like 3 months? 3 months sounds reasonable. 3 to 5 months sounds reasonable. Since it's a business thing and not a performance thing, it's not my fault, right? Even 6 months wouldn't be outside of what you're asking. Okay. All right. You're looking at the situation. You're going to determine how long you need and what that's going to take, and then give yourself a buffer. And that's what you want to do. All right. We don't want to outsmart anybody. We never want to outsmart anybody, because then we're in a very limited, it's like our face is in the water and only things that we could see right there. And there's so much more available. And it's not going to matter anymore because you're going to drown. Okay. All right. So yes, absolutely, girl. Okay. The idea is to ask in the way that gives you the best possibility. If you're asking from a limited space, it's going to close avenues of approach, because you're going to say that won't work, that won't work, that won't work. So stop micromanaging that shit. I like money. If I'm in a severance package and you're asking me to write my own ticket, I'll be back in a second. It won't take me that fucking long. It will not take me that fucking long, because I know what I want. I know what I want. I want time. You're going to pay me for my time, because that's what our exchange is. It's always been that. And my time is valuable. So I'm going to ask for you to pay me for my time, because I'm going to spend my time looking for another position. I'm going to spend my time looking to develop an entrepreneurship or a new job or a new business. I'm going to spend my time, and you're going to buy that time because it wasn't my fault.
Like that.
Like that.
Goes back to what you had said earlier of because I said so.
Because I said so. That's how we all live. I get mad at myself sometimes because like I'll be in like this really long old, I haven't done it in probably a week and a half now. So I don't know if I'm batting 1,000 or not. I don't have I think I've done a lot of integration. I think that's really what it is. And I think a lot of it is me sourcing out each version that has resistance to me accepting something. Right. And usually it is the acceptance of somebody giving me something. Okay. Telling me that here, you could have that. And I'll be like, oh, I don't know if that's exactly what I was asking for. This is how it showed the fuck up though.
Yes. Even though that's what we wanted.
Well, because we're taught it's illegal to want for ourselves before we want for somebody else. That's what we're taught. Pretty much illegal. You should never want for yourself. You should want for everybody. Don't be so self-centered and selfish. Yet we all are. We all are. When you recognize that it has to start with the self in order for you to make a decision or you to take an action, then you understand it's not selfish. It's part of life. It's part of community. And then you bring yourself to the table with others. That's going to go ahead and build that. It's going to build that energy. It's going to keep us connected. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you, Miss Angie. I'm happy you don't mind going along. I love going along, but we won't do that all the time. Okay. We won't do that all the time.
You're good. You're good.
We'll do like 9 to 9:30 unless people pop on, and then I'll answer questions. We'll answer questions because it's fun. I'm so happy that people in the group were able to find us. That was perfect.
Yes.
Okay. I want to pull Vero up here one more time. Okay. And
Okay.
so I have true, I am seeing a lot of butterflies lately. Yes, but you're seeing a lot of butterflies lately because they're mariposas and they're souls. A lot of souls are traveling right now, but you know that. And that comes from the Aztec culture.
Mhm.
That's what's happening right now. And the butterflies I was mentioning were the butterflies that seem to transmute energy that I call upon. And these are usually white butterflies instead of the beautiful, colorful orange and yellow and black and just gorgeous, right? These are just white butterflies, is what they look like. And I want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so deeply. And trust is your friend. Trust is really your friend. And crying, you should cry. You need to let go. And I just had to come back to you because you're holding so much heavy stuff for so many other people. And I have a practice that I like to do when I'm in my head and I'm thinking about other people and I'm thinking about their hardships and their choices. And I don't have to necessarily be in judgment. I'm not saying I never am. That'd be a lie. I would say that I don't have to be in judgment. That's when I can be of greatest value to those individuals. And I can just send them love. I can send them love and transmute the energy that's in my field that I'm holding, that I'm working on personally for them. A burden shared is a burden lessened, things like that, right? So I think that everybody on here is doing magnificent, beautiful work. And I hope that you guys have a great evening. And we'll see you next Thursday at 9 p.m. How about that, Angie?
Yes.